It's good to have you. And I mean, with Pulte in particular, tell me why you think that this housing demand, just these blockbuster numbers that everyone keeps putting up, why you think that's sustainable.
Thanks, Kelly, for having me on. On Pulte, look, this is as you put it, down 13% from the recent highs. At the end of the day, this is one of the best-in-class businesses and management teams. They've got a great position on land. We think they have the right balance of pushing pace and price to optimize margins and return on equity. And they're restarting their buyback program in the fourth quarter. So we think this pullback is healthy. There was some froth out there alongside, as you've noted, this incredible stretch of growth. But now with this pullback, we do see it as an attractive opportunity.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't until this year, correct me if I'm wrong, that Pulte shares finally took out their housing bubble levels. That was before the pandemic, actually. They got back to those levels kind of late summer, early fall, hit a record high just a couple of months ago. So your price target is just, 53 is a couple bucks above where we were just a few weeks ago, really. So I'm curious a little bit about what was happening yesterday. The company reported a fourth quarter delivery number that was a little bit shy of analyst expectations, and it took the whole sector down pretty sizably. What does that tell you?
Sure. And I think coming into this earnings season, you've had a couple of things. First, you've had extremely elevated expectations. Second, you've had a little wiggle on the 10-year higher, and that's made investors kind of a little on edge. The company, I think, rightly tried to temper some of the more extreme enthusiasm that's out there, certainly still speaking to very strong demand trends, strong margin trends, but recognizing and trying to communicate that there are supply constraints from a production standpoint, and that's kind of what's limiting some of these numbers in the near term. So, combination of high expectations, a little bit more tempered than people hope for, you get this pullback. Again, that's where we think you could step in.
Mike, how long in general do you think this building boom is going to last?
That's a great question. I think the fundamentals are really in place, assuming the economic picture continues to improve. There's certainly some hope that we kind of hockey stick up out of this recovery in terms of housing leading the way. But from our standpoint, there were a lot of constraints pre-COVID around land, around labor, really limiting the growth in any given year. Those haven't disappeared post-COVID. If anything, things like permitting have become more difficult. So we subscribe to the idea that we're going to be in more of a stronger for longer, where we may not see this hockey stick shape recovery and growth, but we could return back to the kind of high single-digit to double-digit level of growth for an extended period of time, which we view as fairly healthy.
Oh, sure. That would be much healthier.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.